What's going on, people? Lord have mercy. Listen, we see what's continuing to happen in this country, and I've said it on here before. I do not have, I don't have hope that there's going to be a real midterm. I don't see that they're going to cancel the midterm. They're going to let it happen. But here is what I see as the end game. They are attacking states, for the people that claim state rights all these years are now, perfectly fine with them taking their state rights because they've been convinced that they're the enemy. Even though there are plenty of Trumplicans that live in Minnesota, they don't see it that. They see it as them attacking a blue state, the other people, the bad people, the domestic terrorist people. And so they're fine with it because they don't believe they're ever going to come for them. This is the mentality that they've convinced these people of. Everything they do is under the guise of law and order or protecting citizens or protecting the government or the country, or, it's all, listen, fascism won't come screaming at you. They will frame it in ways that make it look like they're the hero, as they're over here being the villain. They're violating the Constitution daily. They're violating the First Amendment, the Second Amendment. They're locking up reporters now. If you think this is anything other than, you're a maggot. Plain and simple. And you're not going to change these people's mind. For decades, they've been convinced of one thing or another. And now that they've gotten them where they want them, they've groomed them to this point. Now they're going to start changing shit up and take things away from them. And because they'll still see it as going after the other guy, they'll go along with it. All we heard was they needed their guns to protect themselves from a tyrannical government, which is what the Second Amendment was really for. But now we see they're more than willing to give up their Second Amendment right, because the other bad people are using that to their advantage, or they're using that against them, or whatever they got to tell them to convince them that we got to take your guns. And again, they see it in their mind as they're going after the other people, not them. For decades, they've convinced these people, the guy down that's been working at the Winn-Dixie $12 an hour, that he pays too much in taxes. And then they get these idiots going, we're overtaxed. No, Junior, you don't make enough to even pay taxes. You get everything back at the end of the year, I guarantee you. But they've convinced these people that they pay too much in taxes. So they make, we've done tax cuts. And then they don't read the fine print. And the next thing you know, the rich and wealthy get more of their money kept. And then you got people making videos going, the overtime was a lie. And the waitress tip thing was a lie. And, really, are you that gullible? Do you really think you pay that much in taxes that they were concerned about your tax bill? Jeez, old Pete. But this is what they do. They convince them one way, and then they take a different route. And because they always see it as they're going after the other people, that it's okay. State rights. We're watching that erosion happen in Minnesota and all over the country right now. But again, it's those states. It's those people. Not us. Not yet. What they're doing in Georgia is they are setting up what they're going to do come election in the midterms. They will have the election. It's the disarray that comes after or during is what their goal is. That's why they're already talking about stationing their Gestapo and the FBI at polling places. Why? In states where they know they will probably win, they won't. But it'll be in states that they're pretty sure they won't win, that they will. And again, when they do what they're going to do, the chuds in the red states will go, oh, see, they're going after those bad people. They're bad people. Because come election, they're going to let people go to the polls. They're going to let people start voting. They're going to let them vote probably all day long. But come poll closing, before they can count the mail-in ballots that will arrive, they are going to start hollering fraud, and they're going to claim that their people are seeing this here and that there and all over the place. And then they're going to lock it down under the guise of national security. That's why Tulsi Gabbard is in Georgia while they seize ballots, while they contaminate ballots. This isn't about the 2020 election. This is the precursor. This is what they've convinced these people was the problem. And they're going to use that come midterms to say, oh, here's more fraud. To save the country, we got to clamp down on it and we got to lock it up. And we'll count the ballots. That's what's going to happen. They're going to put it in disarray. And people are going to sit here and go, no, they can't do that. You know what? They're not supposed to be tackling and killing American citizens in the street for protesting while carrying a legal concealed weapon that they never pulled. Don't tell me what they can't do. They're doing it already. And if you believe that you're going to go into the midterms just because you're loud and proud and it's just going to magically be okay, you got your head in the sand and you're afraid to pull it out because you don't want to see what's around you. This is why they're in Georgia. This is their goal. Disarray. Convince people that something's wrong. They need to fix. This is what fascists do. They're the only ones that can save it. And as we've seen, the maggot chuds that worship the orange pedophile and go along with everything he tells them are going to stand there nodding their heads, okay. It's because what they've been trained to do. This is what they will do. See, he's trying to save us again. So, come election day, don't be surprised when the Gestapo and the FBI suddenly, and they only have to disrupt X amount in the country. They don't have to disrupt the whole thing. They just got to throw it in enough disarray. They got to sow enough doubt that it becomes invalid. The minute they contaminate those ballots or election machines, it throws everything in doubt. That's their goal. To make it null and void. And then he can claim whatever power he wants to claim. If he wants to say martial law because fraud. And then hold on to power indefinitely while they claim that they're going to create a valid election. They're going to have everybody re-vote. But they're going to hold on to all the information. The federal government's going to take over. And those idiots that have been convinced that the government can't trample on state rights that are watching it happen right now will go, okay, if that's what you got to do, go get them bad people. This is what they do. We've already seen these people turning on the Second Amendment. They're more than happy now to give up their guns because they think they're only coming after those other people's guns. It never clicks that eventually they're going to come for yours as well. Because one thing a dictator does not want is an armed populace. And if you ever pull your head out of his ass for 5 seconds, you might realize there's sunshine. And that he's the bad guy. This is what they do. This is why they did what they did in Georgia just before they released more Epstein files. This is why they released some bad stuff and then pulled it back real quickly. Because now you got people out there going, see, told you. And now people are going, I can't find it because the government took it down. It's sowing doubt is what they do best. That's what this election will be. And you will have a large portion of this country, as they are today, cheering them on. Because they won't go for their state. They're going to go for the other guy, the enemy, the terrorists, those bad people that commit fraud all the time. That's what they're going after. We got to stand now, and we got to put out as many bodies on the street as we can put out. Find a protest. If you hear of one popping up, if you can make it, go to it. You want this to stay peaceful? Then everybody's got to be in the street. And if we can't get enough people out in the street, what are we going to come election when they pull off their grand plan? You tuck tail and go home? Go out in the street? Because then they will be emboldened to do whatever the hell they want to do. So we can keep hoping for something that's months away as they fast track their plan. Or we can get out in the streets and make our voice heard, even at risk of our own well-being. Because that's what you do when you love your country and you want to protect it and you believe in the Constitution. And it ain't just a sign on the wall or a tattoo on your arm or a flag on your t-shirt. This is what we got to do, people. Will it stop them? Probably not. It's a fight. And it's going to be a long one. Dig in and be prepared. All right. I can go all day on this. I'm not going to. Appreciate you guys taking time. To all the maggots that probably didn't never get this far, I'm going to say it anyway. Go fuck yourself. Don't care. Have a good day.